Well, here we are. It's been a while since we've done one of these, and part of the reason that we're here doing this video specifically here today is because this video has been sponsored, and so let's hear a word from the sponsor. If you're looking for reliable tools for mining, forestry, agriculture, or construction, look no further than XCal Tools, your trusted partner in getting the job done right. XCal Tools proudly crafts American-made products that stand the test of time. Their milling bits are designed for precision and durability, making even the toughest tasks easier, and their top-of-the-line forestry products are built to power through the most demanding environments. With 6 locations across the U.S., they are always close to where the work happens. For more information, reach out to their team today and contact Territory Sales Manager Tyler Box, who is a Florence native and is able to provide you with the assistance you need. XCal Tools, American-made, built to last. Visit them today at xcaltools.com or call today. Now, in this bag is $50+ worth of Baja Joes. And if you watch the Florence Foodies podcast, and if you don't, you should be. On the 5th episode, our guest was the general manager at 5 Star Chevrolet, BMW, Mercedes, LaTwan Edwards, who said that Baja Joe's, in his estimation, is currently the best restaurant in the city of Florence. Now, best can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. What I will tell you is this: Baja Joe's was highly anticipated, long awaited, and is very popular. And I, last week, got the opportunity to go for the first time. I got footage from that. I tried to get as much for this video as I could for y'all. I do think we're going to get an opportunity to hear from the owner of Baja Joe's as a guest on the podcast upcoming. So like I said, if you have not tuned in, you're not familiar with the Florence Foodies podcast, you're going to want to subscribe to that and listen. Local government officials to restaurant owners to just your everyday, ordinary neighbors and citizens, the Florence Foodies podcast is the place to be. But in the meantime, this is the first bit of content I've been able to get from them. So let me tell you what we got today. And then I've got 4 items also from our dinner. I got footage of that. I'm going to show you all that and talk about it as well. Baja Joe's menu is vast and diverse. It's a really large menu. It's very diverse. I'm going to talk about that a little bit in this video as well. So I tried to mix it up, and I tried to keep in mind the items that I got last week that I also had the footage of and do something different from those as well. So here's what we have. We've got red curry and rice. That's ketchup, actually. But we got red curry and rice. We got fried wontons, which I would imagine is in this box. No, that's more rice. Oh, we got more rice. It's a lot of rice. Fried wontons, we'll get a look at those in a second. But we're going to start with this. We got Rosarito's Burrito with steak. So I want to start with this because this has French fries. I want to keep it as fresh as possible. I came straight over here. This is piping hot. I can feel it through the containers. And let me tell you a little context. You know, we always need to do the context thing. And we'll start with this burrito. There's an opportunity in the burrito game in Florence, in my estimation. We've had the Don Jose, Mi Tierra, El Agave style burritos in Florence forever, for as long as I've been alive. But the Chipotle Moe's style burrito is a little bit different. And we haven't had as much of that. And so to my knowledge, Moe's, Chipotle, King Jefe, and Saucy Limon are really the only 4 I'm thinking of. I'm sure I'm missing one. I'm sure y'all will correct me. Let me know, am I missing one of those style burritos? And hopefully you understand what I mean in the difference in those and like a Don Jose burrito. And I was very interested in what this is going to be. And from looking at it, I think it's going to be in that category. But there's not a lot of options for those. There is a void. There's a space. I try to drop y'all hints on here for somebody to come in and really generate a lot of foot traffic in the burrito game if they did it right. This is a steak burrito with I don't have the menu in front of me, but if I remember correctly, we've got rice, beans, cheese, obviously, onions, fire roasted salsa, cilantro, corn maybe. This is big. It's massive. Immediately, I'm going to tell you that for the price, if I'm correct, I think it was $16. Any choice of meat, this is solid. Not bad at all. The cilantro gives it that nice, herbaceous, fresh type of pop to it. A lot of meat. What I would do, and I'll talk about this whenever we get to the items we had at dinner the other night, they've got a Chipotle crema sauce of some sort. I forgot exactly what they call it, but that's what it is. I would get that, and you'd probably need to get a couple of ramekins of it as big as this burrito is. I would get that and pour it on here. Be solid. This is super cheesy, very cheesy. A lot of meat, structurally sound, so it's not super messy like a lot of burritos. This holds together really well. The cheese, and they grill the tortilla on the flat top, so that combined with the cheese holds everything together. This is solid. This is really solid. I wouldn't call it my top burrito option, but it's really solid though. Really good. Get one more bite. We're going to switch over. There's a pea in there. There's peas in there too. It's loaded with stuff, man. It is. This is solid. I'm not complaining about this. So that's my little piece of advice on that. I would get the chipotle crema. Just get it on the side so you can portion control it. I think you'll like that. I wish I would have done that. This thing is heavy too. Like, for $16, I would say it's a good value. Next, we got the wontons, and they're much smaller than what I was anticipating, but you get a bunch of them. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, $12. Got the sauce here. Cream cheese shrimp. Cream cheese shrimp and chicken. Now these are loaded. So they're loaded down. It's actually not much on the cream cheese side though. If you can see that. A lot of chicken, a lot of shrimp. And this sauce is really good. Sauce isn't really too sweet. What I would say is this. The wontons are not like what you're used to at the Chinese restaurants in Florence. These are different. That could be a good thing or a bad thing for you. If you go expecting, usually they're full of a lot of cream cheese. There's not much in these. It's more so meat. And for me personally, I'm not a huge shrimp guy anyways. I just wanted to try these to mix it up a little bit, you know. They're good. I probably wouldn't order them frequently because simply I'm not a big shrimp guy. It's personal. So it's a personal preference issue. But as far as how they are, if you like chicken, you like shrimp, you like wontons, you're going to like them. The sauce is good. But I did want to say that if you're expecting the mostly cream cheese, they're not like that. Oh, this is... Oh, that's right. I forgot. This wasn't rice. The rice was the other... Okay, this is queso. The burrito comes with queso also. I'm not going to pull it back out now, but... I would still get the chipotle crema, and I would just dip both. I'd pour that on there, and then I'd dip it in the queso, or vice versa. Pour the queso on there and then dip it in the crema, however you want to do it. You'll work it out. But yeah, I forgot that it also comes with queso. So again, the burrito's a good deal. I'd say that's a pretty good value. I wouldn't put it over a Chipotle burrito. If you're going there for lunch, you know, and you're trying to mix it up, and see, that's the thing, and that's what we're about to talk about here in a minute. You're going to have to mix it up with that menu. Popular place. A lot of times you're with the office. You're going to find yourself at Baja Joe's frequently. You're wanting to mix it up. The burrito's a really good option. All right, let's get into this. I'm excited about this one. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to compare this. So believe it or not, at Red Bull Asian Bistro, the red curry with chicken is my go-to item. That's my favorite item over there. So I think we got some basil. So what I'm doing is comparing this to Red Bull. Do I like this better? We got the red pepper. We got the sprouts. We've got the basil. Of course, we've got the red sauce. One of the things I like about the Red Bull Asian Bistro red curry is they actually have potatoes in theirs. Not required, though. I'm not deducting points for not having it because from that first little taste I've gotten, I think we're on to something here. Let's see. Not gonna lie to you, that is solid, man. Solid. This one tastes a lot fresher, is what I'm picking up. Chicken's cooked really well for this dish. I mean, this is... And the Baja Joe's red curry has more heat. I don't think it would be overbearingly hot for anybody. I don't know, maybe it would. That is super good. I'm a fan. I think what I'm going to do, though, is go back to the burrito and finish this half. Nobody wants half the burrito I ate off of, so I'm going to give the other half away. But I'm going to eat this half because I didn't have the queso dip. I'm disappointed I didn't realize that. Out of everything I just had, I would say my favorite thing was the red chicken curry. Really like that. Didn't have a problem with anything that I ate. As you can see, I'm going back to the burrito to finish that. And that kind of leads me into the second half of this video, what I want to talk about in regards to Baja Joe's. So we went last Friday. It was my first time in there. Let me give you my takeaways. Let's start with the food. For an appetizer, we got the chorizo queso dip, add mushrooms, and we got the birria egg rolls, or spring rolls. I forgot which one they call it. Those birria spring rolls are the truth. That's where I got that chipotle crema that I mentioned. Fantastic. Highly recommend those. The chorizo queso dip with the mushrooms also was really good. It comes out sizzling. I mean, it's everything there, presentation-wise, is visually stimulating, and that's part of the experience a lot of times. Queso dip was no different. It comes out bubbling in the little cast iron vessel. If you like mushrooms, I'd recommend adding them. It just makes it heartier. Also really good. I like the spring rolls more out of the two appetizers. Then for our entrees, I got the chipotle salmon. My wife got a poke salad bowl. Now, I eat sushi. I came very close to getting a sushi roll for this, but I went with the wontons instead. I have no problem eating sushi. I like sushi. But the raw fish and salad combination, probably not something that I'm going to be drawn to on any menu. She got it. It looked good. You know, it was, like I said, the presentation was great. She seemed to enjoy it. So, and of course, as you can see, I got the footage so that you could see it. Seemed well enough if you're into that. And then lastly, my chipotle salmon. Even after eating as much as we had, I ate all of the fish. I did, and just being honest, you know, I just try to be honest. The chipotle in that event, I actually scraped it off because the sauce broke, A. But then B, also, I actually thought the salmon, I like salmon. So that's probably part of it. And it really just didn't need the chipotle sauce, honestly. Like it was, that actually took away from it for me. Now maybe because it was a different sauce. It's not the same one that was with the spring rolls. Maybe if I'd have had a ramekin of that one on the side and I could just kind of dip a little bit in there, that might have worked. But that particular sauce, for me, I felt like it was a detraction and not an addition. So I actually scraped as much of it off as I could. But, I mean, other than that, it was solid. The rice was really good. Like I said, the salmon was good. The vegetables were good. It was an excellent dinner. The first thing that I think about when I think about or thought about Baja Joe's after finally getting to experience it is this is exactly what Florence needed this place to be. Or just something that Florence really needed in general, honestly. And here's what I mean by that. To me, the way that I assess and evaluate this is Florence is this, it's a tweener right now. It's in this in-between stage. When you think about a place like Asheville, and you think in recent history about Asheville's food scene, the heartbeat and the lifeline of Asheville's food scene is really the independently owned, the mom and pops, the locally owned and operated restaurants. It's not the big franchises. And the reason why I reference Asheville frequently in these conversations is because that actually was the place where a lot of these conversations started for me. And actually, because of that, really the birth or a lot of the conception of everything that you see that we're doing here on this platform and the ones connected to it. This was the measuring stick that I used to evaluate Florence. And so how much could we replicate? Because there's an entire food culture. And it's not the only place. Like I said, it's just that's the place I referenced and that's the reason why. But there's an entire food culture that has existed there. Here has been much different. This has been the town of the franchise, the town of the big chain. We've talked at length about this subject on this channel. I'm not getting into it in this video. If you're new here and you want to follow up, there's a bunch of content on this channel at this point. You're just going to have to go back or call me and we'll talk through it if you need to. But the bottom line is, for what I believe are specific reasons, this became the town of the franchise, the big brand name, the big corporate restaurants. And it's made it hard ground for the mom and pops on an individual level even to get rooted and established and succeed long term, let alone developing an entire food culture that's more locally based. What I mean by that is if you were to go to Asheville, you could go up there and eat at a lot of really good places. And you would eat things that you literally cannot get anywhere else because that restaurant is the only one that exists. And it's not just one or two places. There's many places there that, you know, historically fit that description. That's not been the case in Florence. I mean, think about it. Most places that are popularized, that are frequented in Florence, I could go to Columbia and get the exact same item. I could go to Myrtle Beach, you know, I could go to Conway and get the same stuff. So the food culture here was more diluted, if I could say that. Here's what I love about Baja Joe's, and specifically for our community. So the first thing I'll say is their presentation is fantastic. What they've done with the building, the decor, the environment, everything from the wait staff to the stuff on the walls to the color scheme. Obviously, the geographic location with it being the old creek rat sitting right there on the water. All of that comes together to make it a very visually stimulating and aesthetically pleasing environment. The presentation on the plates is done well. The food is presented with intentionality and it's done well. So they've really tried to cover all the bases and hit all of the details in terms of presentation. That fosters a fantastic environment that makes people want to come dine there and just go out and be a part of it. And that level of presentation in terms of character is usually something that you would more frequently see with the larger franchises because they have the capital to invest in all of the design and the construction of all of that stuff and everything. So like think Chili's. Like Chili's has, you might be saying, but Chili's isn't, I'm not saying that it's as nice as Baja Joe's is. I'm saying that they have the big chili pepper. They've got all these unique things that brand them as Chili's. You don't see that type of stuff at a lot of your mom and pops, right? Then there's the menu. Baja Joe's has a vast menu. We talked about it on that episode of the podcast. You know, that might be the only negative in the sense that you've got to really navigate your way through to find the things that you like the most. And so like for me today, the red curry, I would get the burrito again, but the red curry is definitely something that I will probably get again in the near future. I really enjoyed it. And now that I know that, and that's in the Thai section of their menu. Like they've got so much diversity on the menu, something that you would more frequently see at a larger franchise entity, a larger franchise restaurant, a menu that size and that diverse. The thing that I really like is that they're executing. So I've now been twice and they're executing. If you notice from what I said in this video, this sitting and the sitting last week whenever we went, I enjoyed everything. I didn't have anything negative to say about anything. There are some items I like more than others. There are some items that I may like I referenced the Chipotle burrito, for example, that I may prefer their burrito more. But when you have a menu that size, what I'm hoping for and expecting is that you're doing everything well. So even if nothing, and I'm not saying this is the case at all, but even if nothing blew me out of the water, you're providing a space where I've got so much diversity and you do everything well enough that I'm going to consistently find things, probably a variety of things, because of the menu size that I can enjoy. I love the atmosphere. It's a draw. It's an attraction. So the community's really enjoying it. So you've got that communal aspect, and we like that. We like to, a lot of times, sometimes we want a nice quiet dinner, but a lot of times we want to go out and we want to be in the community. You know, we want to be out there with our fellow citizens as well. Bump into people we know. You know, we had that happen Friday. And it's just part of the experience. They're providing what I would say is almost a hybrid. And I say that this is exactly what Florence needed. We need, I call it a bridge. We need to develop a very localized, cultured food scene that's Florence unique and Florence specific. Because of where we started, our point A, to get to that point B, there's got to be some adaptation, some evolution, some transition. And I think that something that will help that, instead of it being such a stark contrast, is exactly what Baja Joe's is, because I see Baja Joe's very much as a bridge. It's not a national chain with a nationally identifiable name. It's not Olive Garden. It's not Texas Roadhouse. Insert name of corporate restaurant, giant franchise. But yet it does have a lot of the elements. It has a lot of the feel of some of these larger corporations, these larger businesses on multiple levels. And so to me, in my opinion, it makes it an easy shift or transition for a lot of the people in Florence that have shown historically that that's what they're more accustomed to. It still has that local vibe to it. And what that does is it helps a lot when the next restaurant opens, like say Elliot's, for example, and no one recognizes the name because they haven't seen it anywhere. That's because it's local. They're more open to trying it, because Baja Joe's was a name I didn't recognize. It provided me something that I'm used to and familiar with, and I really enjoyed it because they do and are doing a good job. I hope all that makes sense. Baja Joe's, in my opinion, is exactly what Florence needed. They seem to be doing great. The last couple of places that were in that location didn't do as well. There's been some residential development since then, and more is coming down the pipeline. And so I'm hoping that they sustain, and not only sustain, but that they thrive and do well. Obviously, we've talked about a lot on the channel. Big fan of Salsa y Limon, which is a block down the road pretty much from them, a couple blocks. They seem to be doing well. They had a recent expansion, and certainly we hope that they are because they're one of our go-to places. We're regulars there. So what I'm saying that to say is this area of town where Baja Joe's is maybe wasn't quite prepared residentially in former times, but now there may be enough that that's not going to be the case. So they're doing great, and my hope is they're going to continue to do great. And so with that said, you should go check them out. Did they get my recommendation? Absolutely. I've been twice, and I mean, I don't think there's anything to not like about it. And that's all I got to say about that. So down in the comments, let me know, what do y'all think about Baja Joe's? Have you been? I know many of you have. I've seen a ton of pictures even in the Facebook group, but let us know. What's your favorite thing? That's what I want to ask. The menu's gigantic, and some people are going to be overwhelmed and feel burdened almost because they don't know where to start and feel like they're going to, and a lot of our money is tight. So people don't want to go and then feel like, man, I should have ordered something different because I would have maybe liked it more than what I did order. Let's give each other some ideas. Drop it down in the comments. What's your favorite thing at Baja Joe's? Let us know. It could help somebody out on their first experience if they've never been, or if they're going back for the second, third, or fourth time, give them something to try, give them an idea. I would say for me, I'll go ahead and start. I'm going to say the red curry. I mean, I've only had a few things, and y'all have seen all of it on this video, but I'm going to go with the red curry. I like that. Oh, and the burrito spring rolls. Yes, definitely get those as well. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. Support Baja Joe's. Support all of our local restaurants. I'm really excited they're there. I hope they do well because this is an area of town that can continue to develop. And we're seeing it happen. We've got Chibo's is there. We've got Il Bongo Stallo there. We've got Salsa y Limon. We've got Mi Tierra. And now we've got Baja Joe's. And so this area of West Florence is primed for a lot of development. Residential development has happened and is currently happening. Brand new neighborhood going in Southborough in like 6 weeks, basically. Groundbreaking should start on the first house. And that's going to be a pretty big neighborhood. There's a lot going on and a lot to be excited about. This, if these restaurants are doing well, this opens the door for other new restaurants to come. And then us as big back citizens get more places to eat. That's what it's all about, folks. And so with that being said, I hope y'all enjoyed this. If you did, please give it a like. Please leave a comment about your favorite item at Baja Joe's. Big menu. Help your people out. Look forward to seeing y'all on the next one. Y'all take care.